Hello once again, Dave Knight here at 123daytrade.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Today was Wednesday. I had to think about that for a minute. Wednesday, November 28th, 2018. I hope you had a great week of trading. I'm hoping that you did really well. Weekly update. Let's just talk about it. Today I had to go get the car, our Pontiac, oil change and tires rotated, and I was hoping it didn't have anything major that needed to be done with it. So we took care of that. You know, $29 later, I felt like I got out, but I forgot my $10 coupon. So I got to bring that back over there tomorrow and get $10 off of that knocked down. So that should be like 19, 20 bucks to do it. Anyway. So, and then I went around and I thought, well, I had my list I needed to do. And one of the videos that I watched, I think his name was Driven Trucker, Driven something or another. I've only watched one or two videos from him. And he was talking about his top 5 list, or actually I guess it was top 6. And one of them was a silicone wedding band. So I went to Dick's today and tried on to see what size. They had it's Qualo or Qualo, I don't even know how to say it. Qalo. Anyway, and then there was another one that I saw a review that it breathes a little bit better. I think it's called Groove something. Anyway, so I was looking into a wedding band that will be a little bit easier to work with, and then also needed to get this one sized down. Because since I've been doing this, I don't know if you've watched me, I've lost weight over the years at some point during my journey here. At 2008, if you look at that, I think I actually was losing weight prior to 2008, and I've kept it off for 10 years now. So at my heaviest, I was about 315. That's 315 pounds. I'm kind of not really proud about that. I mean, heck, I'd say I was 5'10", 315 pounds. I was not in the best health, as the saying goes. And now I'm down to about, I fluctuate between 210 to 215 right now, and I'm trying to get myself down to, I'd like to get down to around 200 pounds before I go out in January in the Millis Transfer, or MTI. Millis Technical Institute? No, Millis Transfer Institute. I've got so many things on my mind right now. I just wanted to, you can see how my mind's going right now. So one of the things I thought was kind of cool, it was his list, and I looked at some of the lists there. Another thing I thought was kind of interesting that he put up there. If I think about it, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to link the video down below, or maybe I'll make a card to it to link up to his top 6, because I thought it was a pretty neat video. So maybe I'll do that. In fact, I will. I'll just link up to it so that you can see what I'm talking about. Another thing that I thought was kind of interesting was, I have my rain gear, but my rain gear that I have was based upon when I was a big tubbalard. So I thought, well, you know, that's something that I definitely need. Maybe not so much now, but yes, I know that I'm going to need that. So I've been thinking about the wish list now at this point, right? Another thing that I thought was kind of interesting he put down was the shower bag that he used. It was a rubberized shower bag that holds all the stuff. I wish he would open it up and show inside to see what it looks like, but he did put an Amazon link to it, so I need to go to it and then see if I can see inside of it. I thought that was kind of interesting. So keeping all of your shaving gear, your aftershave, and all that. I know, like, you think about some of the times that you've been on a plane before, and you think, what the hell? Back in the day, maybe not so much with these little travel sizes, but back in the day, I would find that half of my stuff would be missing. I'm thinking, what happened? You know, the pressurized compartment, obviously, right? So, yeah, I just got in, so I thought I would shoot a quick video and talk a little bit. The other thing that I did today, I mean, I did a little bit of everything. I went to our local Kenworth dealer. Now, Millis Transfer drives Kenworths, and mostly, from my understanding, they drive Kenworth T680s. So I went to our local in New Stanton. Those are familiar with Pittsburgh. I live pretty close to New Stanton, PA. So I went to the local Kenworth dealer that's, to me, twofold. One, I want to find out if it's possible when I have off time or home time to be able to park the truck there when that time comes. And also, if my trainer was over in my neck of the woods, to be able to park the truck there too, or find some places that I could possibly put it. So that's one thing I thought of, and there's two others that I'm going to look into. Actually, three others I want to look into before I make a decision. But they said yes. I told them I'd come and meet. His name was Rick Blackham, and I thought what's kind of neat about his name is that when I asked the lady, she said it's spelled Blackham, so Blackham, black, but it's pronounced Blackham. So I spelled it Blackem. So I would, so I don't mispronounce the gentleman's name. Now I have not physically met him yet, but I got to meet one of the salespeople, Todd, there at the Kenworth, and he was kind enough to let me go into a T680 today and get in there, because I've never been inside. I've been in trucks, but I've never been inside one of these big sleeper beds. And a 76 inch is what this was. So I'm assuming that's what the Millis does, and if that's not true, then please let me know. Pulled down the bunk, look, and the little mattress about that big. I'm thinking, whoo boy! And so I'm glad I had lost some weight, so I won't. I know I've heard that it can withstand a lot of weight, but I don't want to weigh anything more than where I am right now, obviously, right? So and the lifestyle, obviously, the things that are going in my back of my mind right now. How am I going to, it's it's pretty small in there. That the quarters, which I was surprised, because when you look at, if you go to the Kenworth site or on YouTube, when you look at Kenworth video, the T680, and you look at their video and you look at the people that shoot the T680 and show the inside interior view, I don't know, it's like a wide angle lens or something, so it looks bigger until you get inside of it. Then when you get inside of it, you're thinking, man, this can be cramped quarters. So there's no doubt that in the wintertime it's even going to be more cramped, right? Because but it was still like, anyway, it'll be home for the next. It'll be home, period, when I'm on the road. And I'm telling you, the one thing I suppose that's stressing me out the most is not the training, is not the driving and all that stuff. It's little things like parking at nighttime with all of the people that I've been watching over on the YouTube side. And there's one guy that I think his name is Trucker's Coach. His name is Jason, right? He's talking, complaining about parking, and it's always been, not always, I guess it's been something that's been a problem, right? Whether it's paid parking, whether it's free parking, whatever. But getting a spot to park at the nighttime, and especially when you hear about the East Coast, Northeast side, of how the things stack up. So anyway, I think that is, just the little things like that. Getting a shower, little things that we take for granted. I would say at home. I asked the Perry, who hopefully will be training me come February, how often do you on average, because you can't say, So in other words, I said, on average, how often do you get to get a shower? And he says, well, probably every other day on the road. So that's going to be an eye-opening experience for me. Another thing that I think about is just simple things like a bathroom. right? There's no bathroom in these trucks. There's no, right now if I need to go pee, I just go out this door and into the, take a piss. If I need to go number one or number two, I don't need to stop the truck, get out, and run to the rest area or whatever to do something. And I see some guys talk about a 5 gallon bucket, like a Home Depot bucket, which we have one of those, but I keep our baseballs in it. So there's things like that, use that. And then I actually found myself in Walmart looking at commode seats, these little portable hunter seats that you can put, and it'll fit on top of that 5 gallon bucket. And then of course you have to have your trash bag to hold that. And the funny thing about this is that I'm watching videos, and then I'm see another guy, I think his name is Ike Stevens. If I apologize, I don't know everyone's name out there, but I've been watching Ike for about as long as I've been watching Little Trucker, when I was thinking about doing this about 6-7 years ago. And anyway, so Ike was talking, it showed this trucker that was the 2016 truck person of the year from whatever this trucking company was. He's got a bag of shit holding out on his windowsill up there, and I'm thinking, dude, so little things, little things that you don't think about, you take for granted, right? Going into the refrigerator, and it's a big refrigerator, and grabbing a pop or grabbing some lemonade, or just getting a quick sandwich out of there, pulling the ham and cheese out, or whatever you got to do. Just little things like that. Big freezer area to put your stuff in. Cooking inside a truck, and needless to say, that's something that, and eating well when you're not eating, so not eating that fast food, McDonald's, and I could see myself eating pretty much at Subway on the road, but I really don't want to be into Pizza Hut and McDonald's and fried chicken and all the other crap that's out there. I want to stay away from stuff that I stay away from as a person. I mean, I'm a diabetic, to top it off. And my diabetes pretty much came because I used to go through cases of Mountain Dew like it was water. So I have myself to blame for my diabetes. Now I manage it by exercise and a pill at this point in my life, but I caused this problem, and not being at 305, 315, whatever that weight was at that time. Once I pushed the 300 mark, I never got back on the scale until I made up my mind that I was going to lose some weight. And believe it or not, I guess one of the most helpful things that I found, one, was to slow down my eating. My dad would always say that eating was a refueling station, and that's coming from his Air Force background or whatever, that you have a limited amount of time to eat and you just get it done and move on. That man could put away more food in a short period of time than anyone else that I know of at that point in time. So eating slower, communicating, to enjoy the food that you're chewing a little bit, right? To find yourself, so slowing down. It's about portion size, really, when it comes down to it. It's, instead of having the hamburger and then having that second hamburger with all that bread, if you want two hamburgers, then have a double burger with one bun. Little things like that, right? So the carbs are in the bun, right? So stay away from the bread. So the bread, and I love bread. Irish, obviously, bread, potatoes, all that stuff. I like that high carbohydrate type of stuff, like chocolate. But everything the Bible has that quote, right, about being in moderation. In everything, be moderate. And maybe if I would have done that in my trading career, at the end, I would be okay. Now, I'm all over the place today, and I've been thinking about how I want to do things. And I thought, well, maybe as far as trading related, I'm going to put some blackboard demonstrations is what I'm thinking about right now, and kind of give you a guideline of how I approached my day trading when I was in the zone. So I thought that might help those that are looking at this, and especially those that are looking at TopStep Trader. TopStep Trader was very good to me, and I still highly recommend them as a place to go when you're trying to find how you want to approach trading. So it's a good environment where you have a fixed cost, and I believe once you move away from paper trading, the next place that you want to be is in an environment where it's simulated, but it's almost like real money that keeps you accountable. So doing the combine in that case is the next step from paper trading to a simulated, and keeping yourself accountable. And keeping yourself accountable, and if you want to do the day trading, I think that TopStep Trader is an excellent resource to use because of the fixed costs associated with that environment. You're not opening up a $10,000 or $5,000 futures account. You are opening up, a monthly fee plus maybe say a 1 reset or 2 resets. So you might be on a 30K account risking $350 in a month, where as opposed to $350 loss can easily happen in any given day in crude oil market or any market really, right? So that's the advantage of being at TopStep Trader, is that there's a fixed cost associated, and since there is a fixed cost, that eliminates, as long as you have income coming in, that eliminates any kind of monetary pressure that you're going to have to perform in any given day. Now me, on the other hand, when money started getting tight, my performance went south. And I can see my performance going south about May of this year, where money started getting really, really tight. In June is when it really started feeling the financial crunch, and just not having enough money to get to the end of the month anymore. And all the cost of everything was going up, and my fixed cost was the same roughly, but it wasn't the same. I mean, they changed some rules, but needless to say that the TopStep Trader changing their way that they do things wasn't the reason behind why I failed in that sense. It was just one of the accumulation of things that happened that I caused, right? So I'm the one, when I turn my finger back at me, really when it comes down to it, it's I didn't have enough monetary backing behind me to feel confident in my trading when I was doing it. I felt like I had to do something. And what I want to be able to get back to in the future, if and when I ever come back to it again, is not having that fear component locked in to say, well, I have to do this. I got to make this kind of money in any given month. I want to come back to it as being able to, the money situation is taken care of on one side, and the trading is just like, is give me the ability to not worry about any given day. Does that make sense? Not worry about any given day. So that's kind of where I want to be. So that's 20 minutes of me catching up with you today. Soon to be 20 minutes. Let's wrap it up here. This is Dave Knight here at 123daytrade.com. I hope you had a great trading week. Those that are in the truck driving industry, I'm coming. I'm coming. I'll be starting my training in January and living inside a truck in February, March, and the rest of the time that I do this adventure. So another, obviously, I talked about Perry on my other video. And there's so many good guys out there that I like. I mentioned a couple that I've watched along the way. Another trucker that I've watched and enjoy is, I think his name is, well, not think, I know it's called Trucker Jim, and also Red Viking Trucker. His name is Scott. And then you have Matt, little guy trucker, and then obviously Perry. These are the people that I've learned the most from. So I guess if I had to say who I've learned the most from over this time, I mean, I've learned a lot from Ike. I've learned a lot from Matt. I've learned a lot from Scott. I've learned a lot from Jim, Perry. Perry obviously was a person that's growing in this. Perry Ferguson is growing and quickly working his way to 1,000 and being able to work his way to being, he's got the view count and the minutes watched. He just needs to get to that 1,000 subs. So if you're watching this video and you see that, I'm going to link, and if you made it this far, go to Perry, hit that like button for him and help him get to 1,000. All right. This is Dave Knight here from 123daytrade.com. Thank you for watching. Thanks for being here. I'll see you on the next video I put together. Bye for now.